Hey everybody, welcome back to Morsel Media, episode 6. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And today we're doing Mandalorian episode 6 as well. Yeah. So, yeah, it just lines up, I guess, somehow. Okay, so in this episode we start out with the Mandalorian on the Razor Crest, and he's entering this, it opens on the interior of a docking bay, and the Mandalorian is pulling into it and lands.
Right.
We end up meeting a guy named Ran, who is played by, I'm so sorry, but I think his name is it Martin? What was it, Martin Boone Jr.?
Okay, yeah.
Is that what it was? Something like that?
Definitely familiar face.
But no, he's from Sons of Anarchy. I knew him immediately from Sons of Anarchy, I just didn't know his name wrong. I didn't
watch that show, but I did recognize the face as being somebody that's popular.
He's been in a few different things.
Yeah.
I noticed that this is from the music and just the feel of the first couple of interactions. It's a very gangster episode. Yeah. The first person that we end up meeting besides Ran is Bill Burr, whose name is Mayfield in this episode, and he ends up being an Imperial sharpshooter. At one point, he makes a comment about, "I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass."
Right.
And which I thought was funny because it's just like a meta joke. They can't shoot for shit, so but I can. And then we end up meeting a droid whose name escapes me at the moment. And then, what is the droid's name?
I just called him Robert in my notes because he was very human. He didn't have that robot walk. He was fluid. Even his voice wasn't quite as robotic as but he's very analytical. So it's funny. I think they could have actually gotten away with saying that he was a dude.
Yeah, it was a mask. Yeah, I hear you. And we ended up meeting Clancy Brown from a bunch of different stuff. I mean, Highlander, Carnival, HBO's Carnival, which is what I know him from the most.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers.
Yep.
One of the oh my god, I just thought of that right now. It is Starship Troopers. And then we end up meeting the lady who babysat Bran in Game of Thrones,
right? Her name
whose name is Natalia Tenna or something like that.
Yeah, so she's like Osha from Game of Thrones, right? And so, but she's got the the stocking ears critter.
Oh yeah, Twi'lek. She's a Twi'lek. Yeah, there you go. So then we have so we meet Zayan the Twi'lek. Who's played by Natalie Tina from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was calling her Harley Quinn in space.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And it's implied that her and Mando had sexy history of some sort.
Yeah, she's very sensual, I guess.
Yeah.
Not sexual, but
sexually charged.
Yes.
Without really overtly, even though, yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely that's why I say she's Harley Quinn in space, that kind of slightly off kilter, fluid personality that's, open, I would guess would be the good word.
Yeah.
So
we've got the Mando, Bill Burr, Clancy Brown is the muscle. Yeah. Bill Burr is the sharpshooter or the leader or whatever. Mandalorian, I guess, is more muscle, but also the ship.
Right.
The droid's the pilot. I don't exactly know what the Twi'lek was, what her role was exactly.
I don't. Yeah.
I guess thief. Did she crack the? I think she cracked the cell at a certain point.
Okay. I must.
Yeah, and then that's Am I forgetting anybody? No, that's it.
Yeah. So they rope the Mandalorian into a breakout plan. Mm-hmm. They don't really get in the specifics of who the target is.
Yeah.
But the hologram of a ship comes up. Mando reacts and he's like, "Oh, this is a much bigger deal than you said. This is a prison transport.
Yeah, it's a Republic prison ship.
But
it's run by droids, which is why they don't have any problem attacking it.
Right.
Because it won't really draw. It won't draw any tension, and if they do have to go in hard, it's just droids.
Right. They're not killing people. Yeah. They're just destroying property.
Yeah. So they do end up get on Mando's ship, and they take off after talking about the whole thing, which is they're gonna drop out of hyperspace, turn on their jammers, land on the thing,
they
stealth themselves as part of it, and like go inside and break the guy out and bring him back out.
It sounds like a pretty cut and dry plan. Like, the robot, the droid takes over piloting. They're in hyperspace, and he basically says, "Dropping out of hyperspace now." They do this fancy maneuver and dock onto the prison ship.
Yeah. In the middle of that, they're in the crew cabin, the hull, whatever you want to call it, and Bill Burr accidentally opens up Baby Yoda's play area and then starts teasing the Mandalorian about him.
Yeah.
When they do drop out of hyperspace, Bill Burr, like the asshole that you can be sometimes, you dropped Baby Yoda.
Drop Baby Yoda.
Hard too.
Hard.
Pretty hard. I say asshole you can be sometimes, but no, like seriously, like I believed it in that moment that he was just like, oh whoops.
Yeah.
But he totally meant to drop that thing, but
he didn't care.
So they put Baby Yoda back in, and at this point the droid still doesn't know about Baby Yoda,
right?
Because he's up in the piloting. So they go into the prison ship. Clancy Brown's character ends up breaking their stealth routine by like shooting at a mouse droid, which alerts a bunch of big like normal Republic like guard droids, and then Mando sneaks around behind them and murks the shit out of them.
That was a cool fight.
Takes them apart.
He takes them apart.
Takes a few hits, but he's got Beskar plot armor,
right?
And ends up just like digging off of him, and he takes care of him. No big deal.
Yeah.
Right before that, Bill Burr's like, "Oh, I told you he's gonna abandon us," but he didn't.
So after the Mandalorian kicks some serious droid ass, Bill Burr does seem to at least like give him a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
But then this ragtag group ends up in the control room, and here's the one human that's assigned to the prison ship.
Yeah. So there's one human in the command center, whose name escapes me at the moment, and I'm very sorry. I'll post it up here right in a second. But he did the voice for Anakin in the Clone Wars. I know that. So this guy ends up. Mando's trying to talk him out of pressing a tracking button, and like Bill Burr's like, "I want to shoot you." Mando's like, "Just wait." And then Xeon or Osha, whatever you want to call her, just throws a knife at him and kills him. And then the tracking device drops and starts beeping. So they have like limited time. So in the command center, they track down the prisoner that they're looking for, his cell, or the prisoner's cell. We don't know if it's him or her. They go, they break it open. It's a him. It ends up being Xeon's brother.
Yeah, another.
And then, like 2 seconds go by. Everybody kind of pauses, looks at Mando, and then kicks him in and shuts the door.
Right. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, what the?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Mando's locked in a cell, and the others are escaping. At this point, the plan starts to fall apart.
Yeah, for them.
So apparently, like they can't jam it anymore. Like the Republic has been notified
because of the tracking device.
Right, and so like the droid's like basically saying, at this point there's nothing I can do. You got 20 minutes to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but inside, like the ship starts to seem to be going on lockdown. People are getting cut off from each other. Meanwhile, Mando is in the prison cell, and he sees one of the bigger Republic security droids coming through. He uses his grappling hook, to grab the security droid and pull it towards his cell. Mm-hmm. So the droid tries to shoot into the cell because we saw earlier that like the blasters were bouncing around.
They'll bounce around the cells.
Right, and so, but Mando rips the gun from his hand, basically rips the whole arm off.
Yeah, right? And then shoots him with it, and then opens up the door with it.
Right.
Yeah, he gets out. Makes his way back to the control center, and then proceeds to separate the group of 4 people that betrayed him. By closing like different various doors that are in their path or around them, and then he hunts them down one by one. So with Xeon, he ends up getting a knife fight with her, and he just I guess he just knocks her out or like everything. It cuts away. All this stuff cuts away. We don't really know what happens to them.
You never see any final blow.
Final blow. Yeah, and so there's another part where there's like a flashing hallway that Bill Burr is walking down.
Yeah, that was cool.
And you see the Mandalorian, like every time it flashes, he moves closer to Bill Burr.
Yeah, and behind his back.
Yeah, and then he's right there next to him.
Bill Burr turns around.
He's like, no! It was like the most pansiest I've ever heard Bill Burr sound ever.
It was very, that was very, like, tropey, you know.
Actually, the first person for him to take out is
the demon,
the Devorian guy.
Yeah, because he's trying to
still in the command center, and he uses the grappling hook again.
Right, to get him out.
But he pulls him down.
Yeah.
He kicks him out, and he presses the button, and the door closes on his head and knocks him out.
Right. So it closes down first, and you think he's...
Yeah.
You think his head's been cut off, because that's what they imply.
Yeah.
Then it comes back, and he's lifting it back up, and then the shutter doors come and crack him in the face. You just... When the doors close, you don't see anything. It just cuts to the next scene.
So he finally he catches up to Zien's brother eventually, who's just about to climb up to the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look, you have a job to do. You still get paid for it if you bring me in." So Mando relents and brings him along. There's a whole little subplot at the end of the show where the droid who doesn't know about Baby Yoda looks behind him while he's waiting for everybody and sees Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And then there's like there's like a 2 or 3 minute cat and mouse
where they
subplot where they rock back and forth and look for each other back and forth. So finally the droid does find and corner the Yoda and it's about to shoot him, but lo and behold, the Mandalorian comes up right and shoots him in the back, right with the other Twi'lek, the male Twi'lek guy.
Plot armor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So they go back to this like random spaceport, whatever hangar, and they drops him off. He gets paid, and then like no questions asked. It was mentioned at the beginning of the episode, mentioned again at the end of the episode.
And so this at this time, you think that all those other people
are dead.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so Mando takes his payment, gets in a ship with Baby Yoda, and flies off. Right. As soon as he's out of the cargo bay, the guy from Sons of Anarchy turns and is like, shoot him, kill him, or blow him up, whatever. I forget exactly what he says. But then, so they're like gearing up to to take the Mandalorian out, and they notice the tracking fob is on the floor, and it's like beeping real fast at this point. And so basically, as Mando's flying towards the camera, or I'm sorry, away from the camera, towards the camera, come in 2 Rebel fighters.
Three
Rebel fighters.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that it was Deborah Cho, Dave Filoni, and someone else who I don't know. I should know who it is, but I don't.
Yeah.
But it's 3 big Star Wars people who are involved behind the scenes.
Right.
Directing, producing, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I just know that just by looking at it, just by knowing who they are.
I didn't really.
So he tricks them, and then it flashes back and shows 3 people in the cell. Yeah. He puts them all in the same cell.
Right.
You see the Devorian with his cracked horns and stuff like that. It was fun. I would give this episode. It was a nice standalone episode, and then at the very end, Mandalorian looks back at Baby Yoda and he's like, "I told you that was a bad idea, but like we needed the money or whatever, right?"
Right.
And so like that's what explains why he had to go through all this crap for no reason. He just needed money just to survive. I mean,
I just thought they went a little too hard into all the tropes in this. I think
leaned heavy into them.
Well, I mean, the Head Socks MacGuffin. Like, what does he do? Yes, I'm calling him Head Socks MacGuffin.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Head Socks MacGuffin just ends up being the cause for everybody else to betray them.
Right,
that was the whole.
Everybody is the stereotypical stereotype of.
I know.
This trope, and they all have to try to measure up to Mando, and they're all each one of them's disrespectful to Mando in some way, and it's just okay, you're doing a job. It almost seems like you're wasting time, just to be to me it was kind of
just to be a turd to Mando.
Yeah, and it was just and from the get-go, there's a lot of animosity undertoned in all the discussions, all the dialogue. Mando's still flat. He's always flat, but everyone that's communicating towards him is communicating in a tone, with tone.
Yeah.
With some type of disgust or annoyance or whatever in their voices. There was a couple things that I noticed that I thought were just like, a little bit, not silly, but just like, what was I thinking? Like everything was like played up, but you saw what was going to happen. Everything was telegraphed, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
It was like, and overall, like I mean, this was just like one of those things where it was a fun little side story, but I almost wish it was just like, like separate from the show almost. Like it serves no purpose in delivering the final plot. You could take this episode away and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I think this is the one filler episode.
Yeah, I mean,
where it's like you can skip this completely,
right?
And it doesn't
really
bother
doesn't.
a thing, really.
No.
I don't think it does.
Again, it's not a bad episode in any way, shape.
Oh no,
it's just
first, like I said a little bit earlier, for a self-contained episode, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. Like I really liked it. Like all the practical effects were great for again.
By itself, it's a 7.
Yeah, and it was just like a nice little heist.
I mean,
a nice little heist kind of deal with a good bit of action.
Yeah.
In Star Wars, it was a heist Star Wars movie.
It was fun,
kind of like Solo, but shorter, more condensed, and better paced.
It's technically sound, but I wouldn't say it's good or great. It doesn't really. It just like there's certain interactions and certain framings in it that I just feel are cliche.
Okay.
And beyond the point of just tropes, like it's like very, very cliched. Every character is again like a stereotype, and but if I remove it from the series, I would say it's just like a fun one-off story,
mm-hmm.
But it's part of the series, and to me, if you're gonna do only an 8-episode season,
mm-hmm.
every episode has to deliver something on the plot.
Yeah.
And I really didn't feel like this did.
I agree with you. I don't think it delivered. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it delivered too much in the plot either.
No.
But it was still it was a good standalone episode by itself. But as for the overall arc of the season, I don't think it added too much.
Right.
All right. So that's it for us today. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And we hope you guys come back next time. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. And next few days we should have episode 7 out. So stay tuned and come back. See you guys later. Bye.